Assalamualaikum, this is Adli Said Network and vSphere Administrator and Virtual Instructor of Cisco and VMware Technologies at NanoTechX. This is session number 12, 15 days NanoTechX Networking Bootcamp. This is the fourth last session of this bootcamp and session 12 is live now. So let's admit the members. Let me share the screen. And this is the chat box. Here you can ask the questions if you have. And today is the last session, means session 12 of this 15 days networking bootcamp. In today's session, we will have 5 labs today. So let's start with the labs. First lab is in GNS3. Let me open GNS3. Today we will perform 5 labs. This is our target, and let's see we can achieve our target or not. In this bootcamp, you will not just learn the theoretical part of networking, but you will also learn some practical knowledge of networking as well, for free of cost. So first of all, you should know how to create a project in GNS3 network simulation software. So I am repeating this step again and again that you should learn. Click on this icon, give the name to the project according to your scenario. Like in this project, we are going to configure 3 routers today. So let me allow the member first. Okay, so here's the chat box. You can ask any question if you have. Okay, and let's start the first lab of today, session 12. So let me take the 3 routers first. This lock, so I should unlock item and then I can delete it. Okay, so first it should be unlocked, then it can be deleted. Okay, so let me take a circle to represent the company. For example, this is one company which have one router. For example, let me give it some style as well. Some border size as well, like 7 pixel, and I think it should be like dash. Okay, so let me duplicate this, and we should change the color so it represents the different companies. So let me change the colors as well, the fill color, so it means that it represents different companies. Let me allow the member as well here. And let me give it some extra color like yellow to represent different company. And now, for example, this is the company and I want to change the host name here, and I want to say company A. It is the name of first company, okay, and it is the name of second company, which is company B, and this is the name of third company, which is what, company C. Yes, it's okay now. So the task is we should make these three companies able to connect with each other and they should communicate. So how we can do this? Let's try. But we know that performing network analysis means that creating a network. So how to create a network? There are two steps. First is connectivity to connect them, and the last step is to make them able to communicate by protocol like IP protocol. So first we should connect them. How? You already know. Yesterday I've taught you how to connect these routers. So as you can see, this router have one port, but I want to connect it with those two company routers. Obviously, it would have two NIC, means two ports. So this router have also one port. This have also one port. So how to give it extra port? So go to company A, go to slots, and give it this one PA4A. And now, as you can see here, that the ports are Ethernet ports slot are added in which one slot four ports are added. I can do it here as well. Go to company B, go to slots, go to this one. PA4E E means Ethernet 4 means 4 Ethernet ports. So as you can confirm here, we have assigned the slot in which there are 4 Ethernet ports available. If we want to give to company C, how we will come to slots, we will come to this one, we will come to this one. So it means that we have assigned a slot to company C router which have four Ethernet ports. And you know what does it mean? 1 by 0, 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3. You should know this 0 by 0. So let me make you clear on this point as well. What does it mean? Okay. Yes. Now look at this. For example, we take, for example, this is the router. This one would be good to create a router to just understand. For example, this is a router, okay, and a router, there are some slots, and in each slot there are some ports. So, for example, let me try it first, then I will make it clear. Now I think it's okay. Let me allow the member as well here. And here's chat box. You can ask any question if you have. Okay. So let me first complete it, then I will make you clear on this. Okay. So this is basically a wired network adapter, which a port and in port you can plug in the cable and connect with another device, even in device or intermediate device, whatever. But in this lab, we are connecting with two routers. So every router would be connected with another two routers. So basically, it will need two ports to connect. So two ports mean behind every port or interface there is wide neck. So it means that the two routers should have minimum two ports. Ports mean two network wide network adapter. If it haven't, then it cannot connect because NIC provides you connectivity. And after connectivity, you can communicate. So this is the story. For example, this is a router which have three slots, and in each slot there are, for example, equal number. For example, equal number of network adapters. We can say ports or interface. We can say. So, for example, the first row, what the first row, and the second row and the third row. So it means the first row represent the one slot, and the second row represent second slot. First row represent, and look at this now. This row represent what? Slot 0. This row represent what? Slot 1. This represent what? Slot 2. Now what is this? These are the ports and network adapters. For example, these are 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. If you understand on this diagram, then you know what? After understanding this diagram, you would be able to understand the whole architecture of switch and router. The whole physical architecture of router and switch you will understand after a few minutes if you understand on this topic. Remember this point. And no training will guide you, even in paid trainings as well, about this. And you know, many network engineers, I'm not talking about I, but many network engineers who have done CCNP even, they don't know that what is behind the port in the switches and routers. They don't know that behind the port there are wide neck available. They don't know about this. This is too much basic thing and they don't know. Means they don't know about the physical architecture of the switches and router. They just know about the configuration. So after this diagram, you will be able to understand the whole physical architecture of router and switches. That what is behind the port. So there is network adapter. Because it provides us connectivity, one connectivity in port, you can plug in the cable. And now look at this. What does it mean? For example, these are fast Ethernet ports. Means this port is, let me show you here. This port is Ethernet port. So what does it mean? It means that these are ports are Ethernet ports. But in our lab, GNS3, we have fast Ethernet ports, which means that this one is not Ethernet in our case. In our case, that is fast Ethernet. Okay. So these are fast Ethernet ports, 100 Mbps speed. Now look at this. If fast Ethernet 0 by 1, so what does it mean? If here is written that fast Ethernet 0 by 1, what does it mean? Fast Ethernet 0 by 1. And if it has written fast Ethernet 1 by 1, what does it mean? If it has written fast Ethernet 2 by 1, what does it mean? So let me make you clear on this point. It means 0 by 0. The before slash it means slot. After slash it means port. Like 0 means this slot, this full row, and the full router which have three slots. But this 0 means that in 0 slot means in this slot, this 0 means the first port. The port starts from 0. But in some router and switches, the port start from 1. So that's why I written 1, 2, 3, 4. But in some router and switches case, it starts from 0. So you can also start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. It depends. So like in our case, it starts from what? Let me check. From 0. As you can see from 0. Look at this from 0. From 0. In this case from 0. But in some cases it starts from 1, so that's why I written 1. But you can also understand like 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0 means the first port and this slot means this port. And 1 by 1 what? 1 by 1 mean this one mean this slot, the second slot in the router, and this one mean that this port, this interface, this network interface card. But if it starts from 0, then the 1 would be this one, so this port. And 2 by 1 mean the second slot, and 1 mean the first port, this one, this port. Okay, same would be the situation like here, here, are same. If I write it here, so it will be like what? It would be like fast Ethernet, what? 0 by what? 0 by 1. Then fast Ethernet 0 by, sorry, 1 by 1, like this. So the same would be situation for this column, this column, this column, this column. Same. So that was it to make you clear. Now I am coming to chat box and I want to ask a question from the panel. Then we will continue our lab. And today's session will be too much long. Why? Because we have to perform 5 labs. And electricity also go on. So our recording can be unsaved if the laptop will be shut down due to electricity problem. So I don't wanna do that the recording would be stopped and it will not be saved and cannot be shared with you. So that's why our plane can be damaged as well. Even it's also possible that we will just perform one lap due to this issue. So sorry if it will happen because I don't wanna cancel the recording due to shut down the laptop automatically. So that's why our plane can be damaged. So now I want to ask from the panel that I have made you clear on the switch and router full physical architecture, that how it is designed. So tell me, have you ever know about the full architecture of the router and switch physically? If yes, then answer and yes quickly. If no, then answer and no quickly in the chat box. After that, I will proceed further because I want to know that do you know about this full architecture that before port there is network interface card available. So Shan Salim said, no, I don't know. Alphabet also said, no sir. So it's mean the first time we have listened that no sir. Sayyid Faiz said no sir. It's mean that you don't know that before behind the port and out and switch there is network adapter, wide network adapter. This was the story. Too much basic things. No, this is not the problem with all of you. No, sir. This is the problem with all network engineers because they don't know about this. They just said that we don't know about this kind of stuff, but we just know VLAN etc. or SPF etc. configuration. We don't know. It doesn't matter. They says network engineer says it doesn't matter if there is NIC available or not. What do we do on NIC? We just configure that. So you should know the basic ideas, architecture of the switch and router, etc. This is a very basic thing. So let's proceed further with the lab. So I'm going to connect them now. Yes, these are connected. We start these devices, and I think after 10 minutes my laptop will be shut down. So because it's battery is not good, so that's why. So devices are on, connectivity is completed, and in network, the first step is completed. Now we are going to perform the final step of communication. For communication, we need protocol. They should be using the same protocol like IP protocol. So let's give them some protocol. Like we will use public IPs here. Use an internet. For example, I want to give 1.1.1. Here I want to give IP address 1.1.1.2, and here I want to give different network 2.1.1.1, and here I want to give same network 2.1.1.2. Here I want to give different network 3.1.1.1, and here I want to give different, sorry, same network but different host, so dot 2. And finally then our luck is good because the light has come on the time. Because if light will not come, then you know the our plane would be damaged performing 5 laps. So that's why. So light has come. So now let's continue without any risk. So I've given the IPs and what would be network here. This network would be of class A, so it would be first octet would be of network and the host octet would be 0, means 0 represents the host. So its schedule will be 8 because the first 8 bits in class A are for network and the last 24 bits represent the host. So that's why here the network ID would be 2.0.0/8. Here would be also the same situation because class A story 3.0.0.0/8. So three different networks we are configuring in one network. So if someone asks you what is internet, in this lab you will also know the basic definition of internet. There are many definitions of internet, but the simplest definition of internet is that it is a network which have different networks. I think you listen to this definition as well. So this is also an example of internet. I am not saying that this is perfectly internet, not like that, but if in simplistic way, according to definition, then this is internet. Means we are configuring internet in this lab. How? Look at this. This is one network. This is one. All are three different networks. And how to connect different networks? Obviously, it's mean this is internet. Why? Because it is a one network which have three different networks. Now, internet definition is that it is a network which have different networks. So yes, we have a network, one network, which have three different networks. So it is also internet. So router connect different networks. Like as you can see, this router connect which different networks? 3 and 1. This router connect which different networks? 1 and 2. This router connect which different networks? 2 and 3. So I have shown you the proof that how to connect different networks. So let's do it practically. Okay. So I've started the devices. Let's check the console. This is company C router. This is the company B router. This is the company A router. For example, I'm coming to the first router. So for example, this is company A router. Okay, this one. So what I will do first, I will write here show IP interface brief. Look at this. All interfaces have no IP and down. Let's check in another company as well. In this company router, like I mean that in this company there is one router. In this company there is one router. For what? In this company, have one router for what? For connecting their devices with another company devices which have different network. So that's why they use router. So this company have its own router. So now if we come to this company and check here its ports status. So show IP interface brief. all interfaces are down for communication. You cannot communicate through these interfaces because they are down and haven't IP. And if it haven't logical address, then how you can send a message from one company device to another company device if you don't know the address of the router of the company? So there is no address of these ports and all are down for communication. You cannot do communication. If we come to this router of company C and check that how's the port, these are up or not, have IP address or not for communication. Show IP interface brief. Look at this. All are down for communication and have no IP. If we check routing tables, so how we will check? We will write here show IP route. Sorry, routing table is uncompleted. So let's check routing table. Routing table is empty, not completed. Here, routing table is not completed in company C. In routing table, there are best paths on which packet will travel. But if there is no path available, no best path on which data will travel, so tell me how the data will travel, okay? On which path it will travel, and on which address data will travel. To which address data would be sent? This is the question. And if the ports are down for communication means these are ports are down for communication. So how data will travel? So it's mean these devices cannot communicate. So let's configure them, then they can communicate. So how to do configuration for making them be able to communicate with each other in a different network? So let's do it. Go to company A router, and this is the privilege execution mode. Go to global configuration mode in which you can configure this router by writing configure terminal command. After this, right here interface means the network interface port. Now we should write the name of interface. What is the name? E represent Ethernet. So we should write what? Ethernet. After this, write the number of this port. This port 1 by 0. What is mean by 1 by 0? Do you know what is meant by 1 by 0? 1 by 0 means that 1 represent slot and 0 represent the first port number in the one slot. So you should write what? 1 by 0 means the first port in the second slot in this router. After this, and if you want to confirm, then look at this. What I have said, look at this. PA4E, 4 Ethernet ports mean that 4 ports in the slot 1 mean the second slot in the router. So 1 means the second slot and 0 mean the first. We have assigned 4 Ethernet ports in this slot. So 0 means in 4 Ethernet ports the first Ethernet port in this second slot means slot 1. So I think now you understand. So after writing this, look at this. Look at the result please. I have changed my mode from global configuration mode to global configuration IF main interface mode. means I can now configure interface. How? First, I will give the IP address to interface. What is interface? Interface means network interface card. It have MAC address. Okay. So through logical address, they can communicate in different network. So obviously, I will give network interface card a logical address. So I will write here IP. IP means logical address. Internet protocol, layer 3 protocol. And this is address. So write here address. And what is the address of this port? This one. So write this address, which is what? 1.1.1.1. Now subnet mask. For example, someone tells you that this is the IP address, okay? Find, for example, someone tells you this is IPv4 address, and someone tell you that kindly find subnet mask. So how? Question is how you will find. So answer you will get in this box. First, you should know that this IP belongs to which class. So you know from 0 up to 127. If octet represent if the first octet represent what? 0 to 127 digit number, then it means it is from class A. If from 128 to 191, the first octet, first, what does octet mean? Octet mean it is separated by dot. It have 8 bits basically, consist of 1 byte. So 1 byte, 1 byte, 1 byte, 1 byte means IPv4 address is of 4 byte. So every byte have 8 bits mean for 8 is 32 means IPv4 address is 32 bits address. So the every octet or every byte is separated by dot. So first octet mean the first before first dot like this one. This is first octet. This is second octet. This is third octet. This is fourth octet. So the first octet, if it is between 0 to 127, then it means this is from class A. If it is from 128 to 191, it means it is from class B. It is if it is from 192 to 223, it means it is from class C. But if it is from 224 to 39, it means it is from class D. If it is from 240 to 245, it means it is from class E. These are 5 classes in classful addressing in IPv4 address. Okay, so this IP4 address belongs to which class? Look at this. The first octet is 1 means between 0 and 127. So it means it's from class A. So remember, class A have first octet for network bits. So it is represented by 255. And its last 3 octets are for host bits, which is represented by 000. If we talk about class B, so the first 2 octets are for network bits, which represent 255 to 255. But the last 2 octets are for host, which represent .0.0. In class C, the first 3 octets represent the network bits 255, 255, 255. But the last octet represent what? Host bit. So it is 0. And you know, in networking, you should work just on these three classes, not the last two classes. Why? What is the reason? There is a reason. Let me tell you. This is used for multicasting and this is used for experiments. Means not publicly available for general users. So it means we will work in networking on just three classes. Why? Because router is device to connect different networks and in router there is only these three classes acceptable, not these two. Why? Because router is unicast device and these three classes are unicasting classes. But this is multicasting and this is for experimental purpose. So that's why router only accept these because router is unicast device and these three are unicast but these two are not unicast. This is multicast and these are for experiment. So obviously we will work on router on in routing. So obviously we will use these three classes because router accept these three. These are unicast and router is what? Unicast device. Remember this point. Router doesn't support multicasting and broadcasting. So now look at this. The answer is that first octet represent class A between 0 and 127. Its subnet mask is this one in class 4 addressing. So we will find the answer, find the subnet mask, which is what? Which is obviously this one. This is the answer. This one. Let me save it for you. So what would be the subnet mask? Like if I write question mark, then IP subnet mask. What is the subnet mask? The 4 octet subnet mask. So this is class A. The first represent class A, first octet 0 and 127. So it is 1. So it is class A. So its subnet mask is what? This one. What does it? What does it mean? We find it like this that the first 255 mean that the first octet in class A is for network and the 0 means last 3 octets are for host. So we find some mask in class A like this. So press enter. So you have assigned IP. Congratulations. You have learned how to give IP to port. Now you have also to learn that this port is down. Okay. If you want to confirm, write it here. Do show IP interface brief and check it. You have assigned IP. Okay. Okay. But look at this. This port status is down. You cannot do communication through this port because this is not up for communication. You should make it up. How? By writing command. No, you should not be shut down. You should tell him like this. You should tell this router port that no shutdown. Don't be shut down. So now he accept your demand. Yes, my state is now up. And how to check? Look at this. This is now up. Its protocol is up. IP protocol is up. Its status is up. And first it was down. Its protocol was down. So he accepts. This port accept your demand because that was acceptable for the router. So that was it. Now we will do what? We will go to global configuration mode and we will enter in another interface in another adapter. How? We will because we have configured IP address to this port. Now we have to configure it on this port as well. Okay. How? Right here interface. What is the name of interface? Do you know? Ethernet. Ethernet. What is the port number? One by one. And obviously you know what is meant by one by one. And how to assign IP address, right? IP address. And what is IP address? This one, 3.1.1.1. So right here, what? 3.1.1.1. What is the subnet mask? This is class A, between 0 and 127. So subnet mask is this one. And say it, no shutdown. Don't be down for communication. Yes, change state to up. Now we have to assign IP. We have assigned IP to company A router. Now to company B and company C as well. So let's do it quickly because we have learned it. And now we have to do it quickly, okay? Because we have to perform for another labs as well. And time is running fastly, so that's why. So what is the port number? 1 by 0. And what is the IP address? Go to another port as well. And as you can see, change state to up. So it is Ethernet 1 by 1. So you should write Ethernet 1 by 1. IP address is what? Of class A. This is also configured. Now company C, then our lab would be finished. And this is chat box. I'm again repeating. You can ask any question if you have. Okay, I will appreciate. So Ethernet 1 by 1. Let's go to another interface as well. Change state to up. Another interface is 1 by 0. And look at this. Change state to up. Now let's check the result because you configured company C as well. How to check the result? Look at this. Right here, do show IP interface brief. And now check the result. All protocols are up. Open communication. IP is assigned. Okay. Check this as well. Company B router. Its all ports are up for communication or not. Its all ports have logical address available or not. So how to check? Do show IP interface brief command. Yes, up. IP is assigned. If you check this router of company C, how do show IP interface brief. Look at this. Now if we check routing table, then there will be uncompleted. Why? Because we haven't configured protocol. Look at this. Only two networks which are connected are available and the third network is not available. Look at this, 1 and 3 network is available but the 2 network is not available. Why? Because 1 and 3 is directly connected to these ports, but 2 is the indirectly connected. If we look at this router, so this router table would be also not completed. Why? Because connected 1 and connected 2 are available. Look at this, connected 1, connected 2 are available but indirectly connected 3 is not available. If we come to company C, its outer table would be not completed. Why? Look at this result. Connected 2 and connected 3 are available, but indirectly connected 2 are not available. Look at this 3. and two are connected to these ports. So these networks are available in this router, but one is indirectly not connected, so that is not available. As you can check, one is not available in its routing table. So we should apply what we should apply some protocol. For example, you know, if I apply the method which is known as static routing, which is used in small networks, by manually network administrator configure the network, not by using protocols. So we can do this also. How we should write here IP route, and which is not available. One three are available and two is not available. So you should write two network and subnet mask and one port which data would be received. So if we look at this, then two will come on this point or this point. So we can configure this port as well or this port as well. If you configure this port, so it means that this network will come through this way on this port. But if we configure this port, it means this network would come on this way on this port. For example, I am giving this port Ethernet 1 by 0. So static routing is configured. Same situation for this as well. Like here, right here IP route, and 1 2 is available but 3 is not available. So I will write here 3 as subnet mask, and which port I will give. Look at this. If I want the 3 will come on this way, so I should give this port. If I want the 3 will come on this way, so I will give this port. If I want this, so I will write this port Ethernet 1 by 1. So I will write Ethernet 1 by 1. Static routing is configured. Now let's do on this way as well. Right here IP route, which network is missing in routing table? 2 and 3 are available, but 1 is missing. Right here 1.0 and its subnet mask and the port name and the port number. On which port I want this network, one network. If this way, then this port. If this way, then this port, one by one. If I need like on this way, then I will configure this port 1 by 0. So I will write 1 by 0. Static routing is configured. Now let's check the results. Routing table is completed with all networks with 3 networks or not. Right do show IP route and look at the result. 2 has come with static routing S. As you can check here that S means static routing, manual routing without protocol. I haven't used protocol. Look at this. Protocol means using metric. Metric means criteria for best path selection, but in static routing we haven't metric. You just manually decide to select the best path. Like I manually decided that if this network will come indirectly, so it will come on this way or on this way. So I manually decided myself that on this port or on this port. So this is without protocol. But in protocol it is automatically decided by metric that which path would be selected as the best path. But in static routing there is no protocol. Network administrator decide which path is best for network to come in the routing table. This path or this path, you should decide. You can configure this as well in this. In static routing, there is no automatic best path selection, but in protocol there is metric known for best path selection automatically. But in static routing, you should decide as a network administrator manually to decide which is best path. Like I've decided that for one, this is best path or this is best. So I've selected this one. So manually we did decide without metric, without automatic, without using protocol. So this is static routing. I haven't used protocol. I've used static routing. Static means manual routing. I will decide the best path, not the protocol will decide that this is the best path or not. So yes, I've finally decided that this is the best path for this network, this one, not this one. I can also decide this one as well. So through static routing, it have come. So first let's check the company A. Routing table, yes. One network is available, two is available, three is available. If you look at this, then two is directly connected, Ethernet 1 by 0, and Ethernet 1 by 0, what does it mean? It means that the two network will come on this port 1 by 0. Look at this. 2 is indirectly connected and it will come on this way, means on this port 1 by 0. If we check this routing table, company B routing table, then look at this kindly. Right here, do show IP route and kindly look at this. 1 and 2 are available but 3 is missing. Now look at the result. 3 is available to static routing and it will come up to 4 through 1 by 1 port. Look at this. I have configured 1 by 1 as the best path. As you can check here, 1 by 1 means this 3 network will come on this way to 1 by 1, not on this way, because I have decided this is the best path. These are two paths on which data can be traveled, but I have decided that this network would come on this path. The data will travel on this path, not on this path. Okay, I have decided. So it means I haven't used protocol. Protocol decides automatically by its metric criteria for selecting best path. If I check this one, then look at the result. 2, 3 are available, but 1 is missing. So if I write then do show IP route, look at this. 2, 3 were available, 1 was missing. Now 1 is available through static routing and up to Ethernet 1 by 0 port. Look at this, I have configured Ethernet 1 by 0 is the best path for one network. Means one network will come on this way, not on this way. Means two paths. Data will travel on one path through and protocol. It will decide by metric criteria for selecting best path automatically, but in static routing it will manually decide which is best path. So I have decided that this is best path for this network, not this one. So data will come on this path, not on this path. So this was the routing table. As you can see, all routing tables are completed. Now let's ping them that they are able to communicate with each other or not. So we have 1, 2, 3 network. So now let's ping one by one. Okay, I will ping and you will see the results. Okay, and you know, if one exclamation mark at least come, it means that our communication is successful. So yes, it is successful with this port. All with all ports, this router can communicate. Company A router is able to communicate with both company routers. So our lab is successful at this point. Now we have to check these routers as well. That are they able to communicate with all routers in a network or not? Different networks. In one network we have three networks, three different networks, one, two, three of class A. Let's come to company B as well. And now you should check the result. And I'm going to pin with its own ports as well. As you can see, communication successful with all routers in a network. It means this router can also communicate in a different network. The last router which will decide our lab that our lab is successful or not. Because so far it says it is successful. You should check the result and I'm going to ping it. Ping is used for checking that our device is able to communicate with another device or not. Yes, successful. Our lab is successfully completed here, in which we connect three different companies routers for communication. Yes, and yes, finally they are able to communicate without any protocols. They are able to communicate with each other. So our lab is 100% successful. And now we should save the data as well from RAM to NVRAM to save them from temporary basis to permanent basis. Whenever we want to turn off the device and when we want to turn on the device again, then the configuration should be saved on the permanent memory known as non-volatile random access memory. So let's save them how? Write the command copy From running dash config means from RAM to startup dash config means to nvram means save the data from temporary memory to permanent memory. So yes, it's saved. Okay, let's do this procedure here as well. Here as well. And now we are going to end the first layer. That was it in the lab 1. And now my question from the panel. Today we should complete 5 labs or this one lab was enough? Answer me quickly and I will proceed further. If you say enough, then we will continue in the next session. And if you say we can continue, then we will perform our labs because in this bootcamp every session is of average 1 hour time and 1 hour is going to be completed. So that's why. So we can continue our 5 labs in next session as well because we have 3 sessions left after this session. And then this free networking 15 days bootcamp by Nanotech X and NetPlus also will be finished. So waiting for all of you response in the chat box. Kindly give us response. Sorry for that, but I think there was an internet issue. But if there was too much problem for you, then we have recorded this as well. You can watch it. Yes, maybe connection problem. Yeah. So my question is that should we continue our lab or should we delay it to next session? Because we completed our first lab successfully. Because I don't want that you all should be bored in our session. Okay, Shan Salim said continue. So let's continue, okay? And start the next lab 2. And just go packet trace. So what will we do here? We will tell you that these are some switches, okay? Like this switch, this switch, this switch, this switch, this switch, this switch. These are some switches, okay? So first I have a question in this lab. Answer me quickly. That these are okay physical switches like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 8 physical switches. I accept it. These are what? 8 physical switches. I accept. But my question is, are they really 8 switches? Yes, physically they are 8 switches. I accept this. But are they really 8 switches? My question is this. These are 8 switches or not? What would be your answer? I'm coming to chat box. If not 8 switches, then how many? No, no, no. Give me the strength. 20, 30, 40, whatever you want to give. Give me the strength. How many switches are these? Yes, physically they are 8. But in reality, how much they are? No, false answer. I have told you that physically they are 8. I accept this. But in reality, how much they are? Let me give you options, okay? You have three options to select. First is 8, second is 35, and third is 45. Select these. All participants select any option. A, B, C. Which option is correct? A is not correct. I am giving you answer. But physically they are 8, yes, but in reality they are not 8. Don't think, just guess which answer is correct. Give me answer in chat box. Hurry up, okay? 35. Shan Salim said 35. So wrong answer. Answer is 45. These are 45 switches. These are 45 switches. But the question is how? How these are 45 switches? This is the question. And tell me, Shan Salim and John Kabuna and Syed Faz, that do you know, or can you prove, or can you tell me that how they can be 45 switches? Or should I explain? And if I will explain, then there will be surprise in the answer. And this surprise will be just kind of unique surprise. Like I will tell you. But tell me that should I explain or you know how they are 45 switches? Answer me in chat box. Hurry up. Because we are going to end the session as well. So yes, what is your answer? Do you know how there are 45 switches? or should I explain? So yes, I will explain this, and the surprise is that how I will explain. I will explain in very deep from basic, but the point is that for that you should wait up to 24 hours. After 24 hours, we will meet in next session, and I can explain now as well, but not I will not explain because this is a surprise for you, and you should find answers with yourself as well. And I will give you answer after 24 hours in next session. So wait for next session, and in next session I will give you answer in deep and depth how they are 45. But in 24 hours, if I will give you answer now, then you would have no suspense. But after 24 hours, if you will wait for 24 hours, then you would have a suspense. You would have suspense that you want to know the answer how. And you can also research, so that would be a good point. So that's why I wanted to just create a suspense, and in next session I will give you the answer in deep and depth with how there are 45 switches. And before that, let's end the session. But before that, let me give the assignment as well here, because I gave all of you the assignments, which are 11, and today's session 12. So I should give assignment number 12 today. So let me give you. So this is assignment 12, and What does 8 represent? Basically, 8 represents the first, basically the IP4 address is 32 bits. So slash 8 represents the class A, means the first 8 bits in 32 bits IP4 address is for network, which represent 255, and the last 24 bits are represented by host, so it is 000. So slash 8 mean the first 8 bits in IP4 addresses for network bits. So let's end the session now, and hope you will research on that how these switches are from 8 to 45 in reality, and I will give you answer after 24 hours. So there is 24-hour suspense in the answer. So wait for that. It's virtual, but how? We will discuss it in deep and dive in tomorrow session. So thank you so much with us. See you in next session. Allah Hafiz. Goodbye.